Okay, if you don't know, I read a lot of shonen manga. You can see kind of behind me, I have, the Dragon Ball Z shirt. You know this at this point. But for Valentine's Day, it's about relationships. And I tried to think about the manga that I have read that I think have some of my favorite relationships out of my collection. But honestly, I made this video so you guys could go down in the comment section and recommend me some really good relationship mangas that you have read. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, my collection is thin on like romantic relationship manga, and I want to branch out. So that's kind of really the reason I made this video. But please continue to watch and like and subscribe. If you're into this content, like and subscribe to the channel. I try to make videos that are entertaining. Hopefully I do that. But yeah, let's get on with the list. My Dress Up Darling. Listen, if you followed this channel at all last year, you're not surprised by this. I think the anime is fantastic. I really enjoy this manga. The relationship between Gojo and Marin, for me, and like my limited knowledge, it's just so wholesome and really enjoyable. A little spicy, a little spicy, I'm gonna be honest. But I think this is a perfect manga for someone to branch out from if they're not used to reading like romantic or even comedy manga. I think it's got some great comedy in it too. I think this is a great beginner's manga, and that's why it has to make the list. Marin and Gojo, them together is some of the most wholesome, and obviously there is romantic elements to their relationship, of course, but their friendship is so incredibly good. And watching these two different characters push each other out of their comfort zone is incredible to watch and to read. And I think it translates both well into the manga and the anime. And I just can't highly recommend this series enough. Cat Gamer. It made my top 10 manga list of last year. Listen to me. Don't get me wrong. I own a cat, so fair enough. I hear what you're saying. It's not romantic at all, but it is a great relationship. And to be honest, you guys, if some of you I know have to know this, sometimes the animals that you own, you get closer to than some of your friends, to be honest. So I'm counting it. I'm counting this. This counts as a relationship to me. So if you don't know, Riko is like a 20-something-year-old. She works at an office, and she's always kind of known for like not hanging out with her coworkers. Instead, she spends her time playing video games. Honestly, understandable. You guys that know that work a regular job, it sucks. Some of your coworkers you don't want to see after work. You're like, you know what? You know what I don't want to do? See you if I'm not getting paid. If I'm not getting paid, no, I don't want to see you. No thanks, I'm good. But they find a cat at her work and she adopts it. She doesn't think it through, and now she uses these video game techniques from like RPGs and things like that to train this cat to get this stray cat housebroken. And hilarity ensues. I think it's a great comedy manga. I think the jokes really hit for me, especially it's got some video game inside baseball jokes that I think really land. Collector mentality, she gets like collector's edition. If you're watching this channel, you collect something, to be honest. And I think you will find a lot of jokes that really land in this manga for you. But the reason that I put it on one of my favorite relationship manga lists that I'm making is to watch how this cat affects this grown lady and kind of makes her pose questions about her life. Obviously in a funny way, because it's not trying to be overly dramatic, and I think that's really refreshing. It's not gonna hit you over the head with the message that it's trying to do, but if you can see that message and it connects with you, I think it's really, really special. Spy Family. Yeah, of course I'm gonna sneak Spy Family in here. I know this is a very popular anime and manga right now, so I'm not really gonna go into what it's about, but the reason that it makes the relationship list is not only Yor and Lloyd, which I think is a great relationship that can actually, here's some inside that I'm thinking. Yor could be used more. I think Yor is a great character, and I think she gets pushed to the side a lot. in Spy Family, and she's an assassin, and they really need to expand on that. But I'm not really talking about the Yor and Lloyd relationship, or even the Anya Lloyd Yor relationship. It's everyone. Bond, it's her brother, it's all the characters around him, and I think it really makes for... What's funny is it's a spy manga, right? It's a fake family. And watching them deal with real family problems, being a fake family, I think you can miss the mark with trying to tell a story like that. And I think this manga hits it. I think that you end up caring for this family like it's a real family, and they end up caring for each other like they are a real family. Plus, Bond is adorable, and the action is really good, and I really like spy stuff. I'm a big James Bond fan, and this really hits for like a period piece James Bond manga. I love it. But I actually do think the family dynamics in this is some of the best currently out right now. Call of the Night. Yes, I hear you. You say, Peppers, man, hey, I watched a bunch of your videos and manga hauls, and you always kind of talk garbage about Call of the Night and vampires. You're right. You're 100% accurate. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for paying attention. You're not wrong. But I continue to buy the volumes. And there's a reason for it. I think Ko and Zuna, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. It's how I pronounce it when I read it. So let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Probably am wrong, to be honest. I need to work on my pronunciation, as you know. But their relationship and there's something about it. And I don't even really like the subject matter. But the way that it is done and the emptiness of wandering through the night, there is something so intriguing to me about that. And the way that it uses its premise of vampires and, loneliness to its effect through the art and through the story elements that it's trying to tell. For some reason, it is so good. I continue to buy these volumes, even though I kind of really dipped around the 4th volume. I am all the way to current, and I still really enjoy it. There's something about the emptiness and these two guiding through this very fictional world, but that feels very lived in. Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense. And that when they go through hardships, or that when they try to answer real questions about their relationship or about themselves, you buy it. And I think that's why I cannot let this manga go. And I'm kind of really glad that I didn't just get that hard-headedness that sometimes you get with a manga series. You're like, I don't like the subject matter. I'm not going to push through this. Oh, it had a weak volume. I'm going to drop it. I'm so glad I kept pushing, because I really think down the line, when some of these titles that like really hit me with their volume 1s, and I'm like, oh, it's so awesome, I might forget about. But Call of the Night, I think, will stick with me for a very long time. Wotakoi, Love is Hard for an Otaku. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. If you've been around this channel at all, I have sung this series' praises, but it has to make this list. It has to make this list. There is not a manga series in my collection right now. If we want to talk about characters, the relationship of those characters, and the things they go through, and the just spending time with these fictional characters, to me, and you guys know this, you cannot beat this manga. And it's not even the main two that I'm even really talking about. Their relationship is great, but it is their friends. It is his brother. All of the characters that they introduce and really stick with grow so much by the end of this series. And I do really love that it is pretty much, it's 6 volumes in North America, but it's about a 12-volume series altogether, because these are double editions. So if you really want a not pot-committing, long series with great relatable characters, I think you can never go wrong with this series. I think this is one of the better ones to come out in a very long time, especially if you're like me, you like to punch that guy. My Dress Up Darling and Wotakoi, I think, could break you into a genre that maybe is out of your comfort zone or your normal read. These are the two especially this one more than even My Dress Up Darling, that I recommend to people if they kind of want to branch out from what they are normally reading. Because again, it doesn't hit you over the head with the romance aspect of it or the comedy aspect of it, but it blends it all so well together that by the end of this series, you really care for every single main character that there is. And in my opinion, I am really happy with the way it ended. I don't need any more. They put a bow on it to me, and I can move on from these characters and always revisit them in the volumes. So I think if you want an easy read that can kind of branch you into a different genre that maybe you're not used to, I can't sing this praise enough. Blue Flag. Listen, I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna be like, oh, Futaba and like Tai Chi. It might not be the way you say his name, but that's the way I pronounced it when I was reading it. Please let me know in the comments. Again, my pronunciation needs work. I understand. I'm working on it. But you're talking about... No. Not here. Not in this house. We don't talk about that. Toma. That is the relationship. Let me tell you. Okay, listen to me. This is kind of like a love triangle thing that I was not expecting. All right? And again, I have not read the final volume. I guess I should say that. A lot of things have come up. I really do mean to read that final volume, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So up until this point, the two best friends. Toma sacrificed so much for this dude. This is what I'm saying. And hey man, listen, they should end up together. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. This is actually why I made this whole video. Tricked you. You got tricked. No, but seriously, Blue Flag, I don't know if it sticks its landing, right? I've heard a little mixed things around the internet. It poses a story that I have never experienced before in manga. I know obviously there have been mangas that have told this type of story. I'm saying it was my first one of those. And I really think it did such a good job with this triangle to set up, obviously, the main character and then his best friend and then the girl that they're so like each other that, you know, they should obviously have feelings for each other, right? And pose that question of the main character that he always feels inferior to his best friend who is like this baseball star and this and that. To build those characters up and them go through the story that they're trying to tell while also encompassing their world around them with very interesting side characters that you also enjoy, like his brother or Toma's sister. Everyone, to me, is working for the characterization of our main trio. And I think it was super eye-opening for me to read something so far removed from what I'm normally used to reading and to dig it as much as I did, right? Because again, usually if I'm like closed-minded, like, no, I punch that guy. Hey man, you punch that guy. You miss out on really good stories that they're trying to tell. And to watch Toma sacrifice so much just for his best friend to be happy, even though he cared about him in a way that he wasn't sure that if his best friend, you know, reciprocated those feelings. To watch that character struggle with that is so interesting and so well crafted. I just wasn't looking for it. It came out of left field and hit me in the gut. And that is why in this household, we Toma. But like I said, I should preface this. I have not read the final volume, so I actually don't know how it ends. But when I was thinking of this list, out of last year, if we want to talk about like relationship type mangas and stories that they were trying to tell, Blue Flag really stuck with me. And I think it's a unique story that I hadn't experienced before. And like I said, if that sounds something like you're interested in, I think it is well done. And it's only 8 volumes, it's super short. So it's not a big commitment. But those are the mangas that I recommend during the Cupid Love Arrow time of the year. I think these are very unique stories and really good human relationships that I think you would enjoy reading, even if romance, comedy, slice of life is not your thing. I think you can find something to like with these series and kind of branch out from what you're normally used to reading. But really, like I said, the main reason for this video, besides giving my opinions on some of my favorite relationships that I own in my collection, is for you guys in the comments, recommend me some really good romance relationship mangas that maybe are not in my collection that you think I would enjoy reading. Because like I said, I really want to branch out this year. While I like, hey, I'm gonna punch that guy, I really do want to try new and different mangas. So leave a comment down below and be like, hey man, check out this series, because like I said, I am really interested in branching out this year. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you've made it to the end of this video, it means the world to me. Thank you so much. You guys supporting this channel and enjoying the content I put out means the world to me. I really, really wholeheartedly appreciate it. And as always, if you're having a bad day, I hope it gets better. And if you're having a good day, I hope it becomes fantastic. Also, hey, happy Valentine's Day. I'll see you next time.